Hey guys, what's up? Coming to you, we're going to feature the NFC North. First, starting off with the Chicago Bears. Head coach Matt Nagy. He is from my neck of the woods, Mannheim Central graduate, so that's pretty cool. He is a unique play caller. He likes to put his guys in great position on the offensive side of the ball. Highlights mismatches against the defense. Does a really good job of that. Over the past 2 years, as an offensive unit, they brought in some new talent, Allen Robinson and Taylor Gabriel at the wide receiver position. Trey Burton was also brought in at tight end, and they replaced the departed Jordan Howard with David Montgomery. So they have some good pieces on offense. They are more of a defensive-minded team. Khalil Mack obviously leads the way. Last year in 2018, they invested a first-round draft pick in Roquan Smith. And they have a bunch of other good, solid names on that defensive unit. They made the playoffs last year, lost on the double doink by Cody Parkey, which I am thankful for. But let's get started. Mitchell Trubisky, a third-year guy out of North Carolina. Last year he passed for 3,223 yards, 24 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. That is about the definition of average. Not great. Not terrible, smack dab in the middle. He only averaged 31 pass attempts per game last year, which is on the lower end of the spectrum compared to the elite quarterbacks. They'll be up in between 35 to 40 most games. But he did manage to complete 64% of his passes, which is a solid number for a guy who's not great at throwing the football. The main reason he's fantasy relevant, last year he averaged 30 yards on the ground per game, and also chipped in 3 touchdowns. Most scoring formats, that's 3 extra points a week, and that is huge for his production. Biggest question, can he take the next step as a passer? I'd keep your eye on that if you're thinking about taking him in your draft. Training camp reports, preseason game, watch the highlights, watch the games if you can. See if he's taking that next step as a passer, and see what the reporters around the Bears are saying. If he is, he may move up the food chain a little bit. If he's staying the same, I see him as a solid backup to spot starter at the quarterback position. He is not a quarterback one at this point, just because he doesn't do enough in the passing game. Secondly, Tariq Cohen, great back for half-point and full-point PPR leagues. Had 71 receptions last year, 725 yards, 5 touchdowns. He caught 78% of balls thrown his way, which is a remarkable number. And he's a running back. Last year he averaged 6.2 carries a game. He turned that into 444 yards, 3 touchdowns. 4.5 yards a carry. That's not terrible for a guy his size. Total yards a game, when you combine his reception yards and his rushing yards, 73.06. That's really pretty good. He chipped in a touchdown every other week as well. So last year he averaged about 13 to 14 points a week. Look for that number to dip a little bit. I think because of David Montgomery, he should be more involved, more so than Jordan Howard was last year. Currently he's being drafted as the 29th running back coming off the board. ADP is 61st pick, so in a 12-team league, that would be the second pick in the 5th round. That's good value for him there. He would be a really solid flex option for you, low-end RB2. His ceiling would probably be a mid to high-end RB2. Lastly but not least, I really wanted to go Allen Robinson here, but I'm going to feature Trey Burton. I feel he adds more value, especially because the tight end position is thin across fantasy football. A lot of people are down on Burton. I am higher. I'm one of the guys higher on him than others. 2018, he hauled in 76% of passes thrown his way. That beats Kittle, Ertz, and Kelsey, the 3 big names at the tight end position. Big red flag, though. He only averaged 35 yards a game. He did compensate that with 6 touchdowns, which is not a terrible number for a tight end. While he won't come close to those guys that I mentioned, the big 3 at the tight end position, he's still a solid addition. With a second year to learn the offense, build rapport with Mitch Trubisky. I expect his numbers to improve by about 10 to 15%. That would give him a year-end stat line of right around 62 receptions, 650 yards, and 7 touchdowns. That's a really solid year. Could be better, but that's why he's my tight end 9. It's really up to your opinion on the tight end position. He falls to my tight end 9. His ADP is shocking. It's at 136. That's the 4th pick of the 11th round in a 12-team league, according to Sleeper, and Sleeper has him as their tight end 14. If he is there in the 11th round at the 4th pick, don't hesitate to pick him up. I think he will outdo that ADP and outproduce it. I wouldn't be afraid of going to get him in the 9th or 10th round, depending what your draft board looks like. That is all I have on the Bears. Thanks for tuning in. Hit that subscribe button and follow us on Twitter at Fantasy Football Pilots. That is FF_Pilots. And thanks for joining in.